Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. The biggest reason for breakups. Let's talk about this today. The biggest reason for breakups in the beginning, but also long term. And a lot of you might be thinking of only the biggest reason is because people are just not a good fit. But if they haven't been a good fit, how come they were, understanding each other in the beginning? Or you might be thinking, ah, you know, the relationship is just worn out. It just happens with time. But I'm here to challenge you and challenge this thought, because a relationship doesn't have to be worn out. Differences in a relationship don't have to be the reason for a breakup. The number one reason is actually bad communication. Communication from the man's side, also from the woman's side, where people just feel ignored, people feel hurt, people feel attacked, people feel misunderstood. And a misaligned communication is actually the number one reason for breakups, because a result of communication where both partners feel unheard is the feeling of unfulfillment, right? And the feeling of unhappiness. And then we're like blaming the other person, thinking, okay, if I'm with someone else, it will be easier. But at the end of the day, all of that doesn't happen when there is communication, clear communication that actually helps you to create a long-term relationship, right? Like even in dating, this type of communication is very important, so that when you're dating someone, it actually leads to commitment. Yeah, lots of people are afraid of commitment because they're thinking like, how can I handle if there's a fight? How can I handle if this and this comes up? With the right communication. And I'm gonna share with you a few tips and tricks here. But yeah, unfortunately, this is number one reason. And the good news is when you really learn how to communicate, all of this can be avoided and will be avoided. Yeah, by the way, quick announcement, my course, How to Talk to a Millionaire, the communication course, is 50% off this week. If you would like to learn how to communicate like a pro in your relationship, even when you're dating with men, make sure to grab it. The link I'll put in the description box. And if you'd like to talk to me directly, you can book a free love audit call. It's completely free and you get to have my personalized insights on your situation. Okay, also in the description box, check it out. So let's continue with the topic of communication and breakup. Okay. So one of my clients, she kind of like every time she was dating and every time like something happened, she was very, very, very quick to cut people off, cut men off, like, giving them the middle finger, like, you know what, you can't talk to me like this, and bye. And obviously, this is a better strategy than to take if a guy is like talking mean to you or if he's like making some mistakes, right? And you're just like nice and listening. So obviously, I completely hear you. Like I had this trait very much as well inside me to be like, no, just please go. I don't want to have anything to do with me because you're hurting me. But then she was saying, but I cannot really have a relationship because everyone makes a mistake and I have to really cut off every single guy. But on the other hand, I don't want him to talk to me like this. I don't want him to um, do this, or I don't want him to have this behavior. And I was just talking to her saying that, what if we just try to communicate this? And if he's really such a horrible guy, yes, he will ignore whatever you want to tell him, and then you will at least have a reason to break up. But what if we try to communicate this, okay? And she learned the communication tool, which I also teach you in the How to Talk to a Millionaire course. And She's been able to show her vulnerable part. She was able to show that, when you talk to me like this, I feel really hurt. Or she was able to share that if you're late for 10 minutes, I feel really disrespected with my time. I really don't feel good. And then um, you know, and then once she started to communicate, she actually was able to create a long-term relationship with harmony, with love involved. Now and is now engaged now. Actually, I had another client in mind, but you can watch the testimony of Alyssa on my channel. You can like Google it. She was also sharing there that, she the first time she met her now fiance, she was working with me and he was late and she was so upset. She wanted to cut him off. I was like, let's communicate. Let's communicate this. She did. He was not late anymore from that point, and now they're happily engaged, about to be married. So you see communication. On the other hand, one of my other clients, she was always so nice to men. She never said what was bothering her because she was so nice. And then at some point, because she just couldn't stand anymore this behavior, she never said something, but she was just so bothered, she would just like cut the person off. Yeah, that's like being the nice girl. Yeah, again, communication, sharing what's bothering you. Yeah. Obviously, there are different archetypes which are not the healthiest way, but it always comes back to the middle. It always comes back to the communication skills. So whatever reaction you have, some people want to cut people off. Some people are just like nice to calm down the situation. And some people just like start yelling, for whatever issues happening. Like, how dare you late? You let me wait for 10 minutes. If you do it one more time, I will leave you, or this will happen, or whatever. All of that are kind of like not very effective responses because it destroys the love in a relationship, and the man can't really hear you. He will feel either confused or attacked, or he will not be able to. It's not like very effective because it destroys the love, and destroys the connection. And when you know how to communicate, you just share your feelings, you share your authentic problem or desire. A healthy man, not every man, I have to admit, and this is also something I'm bringing up in my course, How to Talk to a Millionaire. Not every man will hear you. But at least he's not healthy and then you can cut him off. But a healthy man will hear you. He will say, okay, I'm sorry I was late. I will not be anymore. When there's a behavior that you don't like and you didn't say it because you were like so nice to him, but you say that I don't like it. A healthy man will try to adjust. And I'm very sure you, as a loving person, you would do the same thing. Like, even with communication with your family members, like, let's say if your mom, she shares with you anything, as you really love her, she shares with you that, let's say you're driving really fast, and then your mom is there. She says, I feel so scared when we drive so fast. Can we drive a bit slower? I'm sure you will take it into consideration because you love your mom, or just imagine someone who you really love dearly, right? You would for sure take it into consideration to drive a bit slower because your mom feels scared. But imagine your mom just like cuts you off, be like, I'm so resentful because I never told her that I'm scared. Or your mom just like push you away, be like, you're so mean, you just drive so fast and I'm always scared because of you. Or imagine your mom starts shouting. All of the behaviors will just cause disruption. It just will be very icky and negative. So communicating is that is why so important for a relationship. It's one of the core skills you will have to learn while dating and while being engaged and while being married. If you want to have a loving relationship where you feel loved, where your partner feels loved. And guess what? One of the reasons why also men choose to marry you is because they notice you know how to communicate. and they start feeling safe, and they are like, yes, I want to be with you forever. You know how to communicate. Men are honestly also used to like those protective trigger responses of like cutting off or yelling or punishing. No, we're just going to communicate about the problem and solve it. So this is something that I've been only teaching my one-on-one clients since years, but again, I have it also in my course, How to Talk to a Millionaire, and I would love for you to take advantage of that course. Grab it, it's 50% off this week with the code ellie50. Okay. And if you would like to talk to me directly, you can also additionally book a free love audit call. All the links are going to be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching.